Today I'm going to talk about adaptation, accommodation, and modification for co-curricular or co-curriculum. So let us move and understand. Let us understand what is co-curricular. Now, in the school, you have experienced number of activities and program organized by the school, not only for the normal kids, but also for the special need children. So those learning experiences is called your co-curricular activity. Don't get confused. Just understand what is co-curricular activities. Co-curricular activities is equal to your extracurricular activities, that is non-academic activities apart from your subjects, right? So what are the categories of co-curricular? Here, you would have seen a visual arts, performing art, and physical education. Most of the time we know a physical education. When we talk about the co-curricular, we it comes in our mind, the sports, the game, the play, the physical education. But visual and performing arts, like your let us see and let us understand about a visual arts, and then we can understand how to do the adaptation. These are few examples like drawing, painting, printing, or a craft work or photography works. So these are examples of your visual arts. So visual arts include all those activities which involve the use of variety of material of different color, the shape, the texture in the environment. So to create something that we admire or appreciate. So when you make some painting, you are appreciated. So when it comes for the children with intellectual disability, it is very important to plan the method of processing, how these activities can be taken. So you need to teach and modify as per VAKT. Okay, that is your visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile involvement must be there, so that they can understand the concept perfectly. I have uploaded the video on VAKT. You can just you know go through it. Let us move to the activities of visual arts for children with intellectual disabilities. See, providing a harmless material which will be very easy to adapt and handle. So make sure that whenever you give a material, it is very, it's not so complicated, it's not harming the child. If not, he may not able to you know perform better. So like for example, tearing a paper, it's very simple, and there is no harm in that. It just, you need to give a paper, tear it. So this kind of activities you can involve in children with intellectual disability, like rolling of papers, palm printing, thumb printing, foot pasting, coloring, the spray painting, clay modeling, printing with the models, like vegetable. In the market you will get your artificial what do you say pegs, where you have to dip and print on the paper. So that kind of material we can involve as a visual art to make the child understand, to participate, so that they can develop a lot of other skills also, like eye hand coordination, socialization. There are a lot of other skills where child will develop as well. Now, see, these all harmless materials, these all harmless activities promotes the motor, coordinated, and social skill, as I said. So how we are going to do the accommodation and modification for visual arts? Let us understand. See, provide a pleasant place out of the classroom. Even if you're providing in the classroom, make sure that it is quite structured. It is not so complicated rush, where he may not able to concentrate what you want to make the child learn. So let the child create his own prompt printing if you're giving that activities. So allow the extra and sufficient time, because um, visual art, performing arts, or any other sports, sometime it goes beyond the time. So make sure that you give some extra time. Anyways, for special education need children, you need to give some extra time so that they can complete, you know, in a better way, so that they can complete whatever they have in their mind. Provide a modeling and prompt in an initial stage. If you're making the child to learn, make sure that you give a prompt. You can give a physical prompt. You can say that, okay, how I'm drawing, you can draw in that way. Display the student's art. That will motivate the child. Reinforce successful trial. If the child is have come up with a wonderful activity or printing work, try to reinforce the child, appreciate the child. Provide the adaptive material if the child has a fine motor problem. Some children may have a fine motor problem, so you try to adapt the pencil or color so that they can easily do the activities. Break the task into smaller steps. Okay, you can say, okay, you have drawn a half part, then a half part you can work after 1 hour, or you sometime after a break of 2 or 3 hours. Provide them opportunities for practice, which is very important, and a concrete material. Okay, see, concrete material will give the three-dimensional effect if they under, because they come up with the good things when you present it, when you present the concrete material. Involve the student to collect the material and let them name the materials, which is very important. Let them do their on their own. So provide a physical or verbal prompts, which is very important, as I said, in your modeling and prompting. So allow them to do the activity according to their abilities. Don't indulge your ability. I want in this way. No, let them do on their own. Finally you will be very happy, and you will see that there is there is a, what do you say, his expression on the paper, which will make you very happy. So give emphasis on anticipation, which is very important. Now let us understand about the performing arts. See, performing arts are a form of creative activity that are performed in the front of the audience. See, visual arts is like your printing, which can be done in isolation. Okay, and it's like if we give a pen and pencil, they can draw anything. But performing, that means you need to perform in the front of audience or someone, like drama, music, vocal, dance. So it's even a mimicry. So this is all performance on the stage, where the child will be able to showcase his or her skill. So children with intellectual disability, you can involve in the drama, even in the dance, in the sometime in the music play, vocal. So but some with some limitation and adaptation. So performing art are a mean of ideas, concepts, thoughts, opinion, and music. So performance could be through any one of the above media or combination of one or two. For example, when you do a drama, you involve a music or sometimes a more vocal or even a dance. So it can be involved in such way for children with intellectual disability as well. So performing art have also used for therapeutic purpose. So it's not only to show the skills, but also to develop their fine motor skills, socialization skills, or you can say other concepts of the domains, like even you can develop you know communication skills with the help of this performing art. So it's a very important and has a huge importance in the developing skills in children with developmental delay. Now let us see some adaptation and modification in music. I'm not going to show you the all adaptation like in dance, drama, but anyways you can keep in your mind, if it is dance, what kind of adaptation. If the child is not able to follow the step, then you need to shorten down the time, shorten down the, or mark with the marker on the ground, so that the child stands and move their steps in that way. So there are different adaptation which is very simple. You can just, even on your own, you can do this. Is for your just practice and understanding, so that you can do others. So let us select something in music. Now let us see a song which do not have too many variations in tune, and which are repetitive. So in the music, what you can do is you can select which do not have a many variation, as I said. So you need to select very small tune, like one or two sentence, so that the children with intellectual disability can easily pronounce and easily sing. So during the music class, encourage the child to sing 2 to 3 lines, as I said, on a popular song. I have 15 minutes of listening sessions that will make the child to understand the lyrics, as well as it will make him relax. So there are children who have a sense of rhythm. If you see a children with intellectual disability with a little higher grade, you can see they may have ability to do the rhythmings, rhymings. They can play a keyboards, tablas, flutes, a lot of other musical art tool which the child can participate into. So whatever the music, whatever the activity, whatever the tool you use, for example, if the child is not able to use a flute, you can do some adaptation in the flute as well, so that child can sing, or sorry, if the child can flute that. So that is very important to understand. So provide opportunities for them to perform during the celebrations, during the school feasts, or in fun feast, wherever the school organize, even at home if you are organizing some party. So there you can give an opportunity to the child, so that they can experience the the things better way. Let us see some accommodation and modification in drama. So simple dialogue should be planned, because children, if you give a complex dialogues, they may forget, and they may not able to deliver it properly. Then using a role play, pretended plays, mimicry can help the child to learn better. Then continuous practice will be needed to recite the dialogue. It is not in one take. You have to understand the children with intellectual disability, they have a limited cognition, so they may not retain those information which you have given. So continuous dialogue delivery has to be there. Practice, I mean to say, a continuous practice has to be there. Need to select the age appropriate theme. If not, the child may not able to do it, if they're confused. And dialogue should be delivered from the background, rather the child says in the front of audience, he can just act and someone can mimic from the background. Then also the children who have a problem in speech, place them in miming, so that they will act to the dialogue. That's it. So children who are not able to walk properly need to accommodate in the role play, where sit on the throne or idle or a chair, whatever. Okay, so make sure that you accommodate as per the child's need, as per the situation. Now let us go to the physical education, like yoga, play, sports, and games. So here, physical education is very important part of curriculum, like similar to your reading, arithmetic, social studies, and any other subjects. It is instructional and should offer a planned sequences as well for the new material. And in many schools and curriculum, the physical education is added, so that they can develop their other skills as well. So, adapting physical education curriculum has 4 major objectives. First, the adaptive physical education improves the neuromuscular system, thereby improving the overall fitness of the student with disability. It develops the desirable social skills, and also it actively encourages the student to participate in the sports on the regular basis, and it guides the student as to how they should be a best spend their leisure time. So the goal of each physical education lessons are based on the students' needs, based on the students or based on the child's need. Okay, so this is the role of adapted physical education, which is very important. You need to understand before you plan it out. So adapting physical education curriculum refers to school-based program for students who are about age range from 3 to 21 years for children with intellectual disability. So it helps to develop the level of awareness, movement, manipulation of environment, the postures, the locomotion. So physical education should be planned keeping in mind their motor skills, physical fitness performance, social maturity level, level of sports and modification needed, and curriculum consideration. So these are all things you need to keep in mind, and then you need to develop adaptation for the physical education curriculum, because children with intellectual disability may have a motor ability similar to a non-disabled person, and also can be trained in the physical exercises, the sports, the games. Okay, so make sure that you remember this. So let us do some understand some modification in some activities which is involved in physical education, like ball throwing. This is very simple activity our children can do with interest. So here what you can do, have a children stand in one line behind one another, and the first child is given 3 chances to throw a softball to another friend standing from the distance. So he goes to the end of the line after 3 attempts, then again vice versa. So it's very simple, like you can do. And what kind of modification you can do in this: reduce the distance if the child is not able to throw far, then vary the size and texture of the ball if the child has sensitivity problem to touch the ball, place a box to throw the ball into it. You can do in that way also. For children who have associated impairment like intellectual with autism or intellectual with Down syndrome or hearing impaired, you can for example here, such as a blindness, use a ball which makes a noise so that they will understand that my ball has reached that particular place. Allow the children who cannot stand to sit and throw. That's a kind of modification you can. Then track and field events. See, to train a positioning of hand and feet in the place before a signal is given for running, or mark outline on the hand. So in that way you can train the child running on the tracks, and like athletes, and foot where the student have to place on the line. So that kind of things you can do, like a lot of marking. So that all you can do for understanding. Use bright color flags on the track so that they can understand what you are able to do. For example, if you want the child to run on the track, like visual impaired, so again you can do some sound, and for hearing impaired you can use a flag. You can just throw the flag, they will understand that you have to run. So mark the track starting and finishing point, which is very important. In relay race, use a bright color again. Reduce the distance for children who have a difficulty in running. Then in wall ball, so here you divide a player into group of 6 or 4 or 5, but you can say it's maximum 6. So they stand in the line of perpendicular to the wall, 4 feet apart. Then mark a distance every foot, 3 to 8 feet from the wall. First the child is so the first child in each row throw and catches the ball 3 times. Then he moves to the next mark and repeat throw and catch. So this is how you can do. So it, whatever the sports activity, whatever the activity you select, it requires some adaptation. It's not necessary that this is fixed. Even the wall ball can be modified based on the child's needs and ability. When they actual you see the child on the ground, balancing activities can also be modified, like providing the support of a chair wall, or you can give some extended arms, use non-slippery surfaces, teach how to fall, or you need to take a safety, allow them to hold up your hand, that also can be done for the balancing, jump or rope activities, reduce the height with the rope, using a bright color rope, provide a practice in jumping from the different height, that also can be adaptation done for the balancing activities. And see, there are emerging trends in co-curricular activities. You would have heard about Special Olympics. In Special Olympics, you have number of games, soft games for children with intellectual disability. So, Special Olympics is the world's largest sports organization for children and the adult with intellectual disability, providing a different kind of training. Till now, more than 6 million athletes and unified sports partner in all over the country. We have already, what do you say, organized a Special Olympic activity last year. We will try to organize it. Let us see if this COVID goes soon, so that you can have a practice. Special Olympic oath is very important. This we have to take before we start the game. That is, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me brave in my attempt. And you know that here, those who come last, we give a first prize. Special Olympic Bharat is a national sports federation. So every country has a Special Olympic, what you say, branches all over the world. Even in India we have, that is also, that is why it is called Special Olympic Bharat. Okay, so with the help of this, there are a number of students participated, won the gold medals. There are number of trainers, coach. Okay,